Avery Lifetime Achievement Award recognizes the values and vision of Stan Avery and his pioneering efforts. It is designed to honor those individuals who have made truly outstanding contributions to the promotion and growth of the label industry. This year's winner is Suzanne Zaccone, Executive Vice Chairman and formerly President and co-owner of GSI Technologies. Suzanne is an exceptional individual who has been blazing new trails throughout her career. Her father owned Anagraphics, a label business, so Suzanne literally grew up in the printing business and recognized early its opportunities. Nothing was handed to her. She learned sales skills the hard way, taking the accounts that no one else wanted and finding ways to deliver growth from those accounts. When her father sold the business, Suzanne and her brother found themselves without a job, but plenty of ambition. So they decided to start their own company, first selling labels made by someone else, and then eventually adding presses of their own. And just like Stan Avery, they started small. In a room over a garage, their first press was delivered to that room above the garage, 100 steps vertical. Suzanne, together with her brother, Bob Zaccone, founded GSI Technologies in 1985. They did it to produce prime and anti-counterfeit labels and polycarbonate overlays. Today, GSI is widely recognized as a world leader in emerging technology producing advanced functional printed products, including strips to measure glucose for diabetics, electroluminescent lamps, smart card displays, sensors, and automotive circuits. And with a great twist of irony, they actually went on to buy Anagraphics, yes, the same company they worked at with their father, and merged the company into GSI. GSI Technologies, under Suzanne's leadership, won the 2006 TLMI Converter of the Year Award, has been recognized by MIT with their Below the Radar Award for the success of its lab to fab business model, and they've won TLMI's coveted Eugene Singer Best Managed Company Award not once, but 6 times. Suzanne has been blazing trails for women in our industry for years. From 1998 to 2000, Suzanne was TLMI's president, the first female in that role in the organization's 75-year history. She was also chair of the Communications Committee for 7 years and held a seat on the board of directors for 13 years. Suzanne has also been president of the board of directors of the Detrolio Flexographic Institute since 2000. Suzanne continues as a strong mentor for other women in TLMI and women in the label industry in general, using her leadership skills to help young people in the medical field and other business areas. Suzanne is a breast cancer survivor and published an outstanding book. The book is titled A Random Interruption: Surviving Breast Cancer with Laughter, Vodka, Smoothies, and an Attitude. Now, semi-retired, she has a seat on the board of directors of the Resurrection Development Foundation in St. Joseph's Hospital in Chicago. Please join me in welcoming trailblazing entrepreneur and leader extraordinaire, Suzanne Zaccone, the 2014 Stan Avery Lifetime Achievement Award winner.
I just have a few housekeeping notes before I start. I'm going to start with my shoes. I haven't worn heels in 6 months, and I'm going to take them off now, because if I don't, I'm really afraid that you might have a terrible experience in that front row, and I'm going to just topple over. So these are coming off. Okay. And the second housekeeping thing is that when you have chemo, it gives you really watery eyes. And so while you might think I'm crying, I'm not, although I'm not going to promise that I won't have that happen at some point in time. But most of the time, I'm just dabbing my eyes to try to be able to see what I've written here. I would first like to start out thanking Avery Dennison for sponsoring this distinguished award, as well as the judges, those who voted, and Tarsus for honoring me. When I was called about the award, I was quite surprised, touched to the point of tears, honored beyond words, and incredibly humbled. Those people that came before me are such incredible, stellar representatives of our industry that it makes getting this award so much more special. In talking to Danielle Drashevsky, I reminded her that I would still be undergoing chemotherapy for cancer number 2 and would be bald. I also reminded her that my experience from cancer number 1 had already proved that scars made me look like a sick pirate. I can't pull off hats, and I move far too fast to keep a wig fashioned securely to my head, so I would have to rock it bald. Then Danielle reminded me that if they discriminated against baldness, that more than half of you would be ineligible for this award. So, seeing all of you here in mass, either bald or on your way there, ladies excluded of course, has once again given me major comfort, and for that I thank you. I'm not an inspirational speaker. I've never landed an airplane on the Hudson, solved any world issue, or found the cure or the cause for any important disease. And I'm certainly not here to give career advice. Because, well, I never really had what most would call a proper job. How could you love something so dearly and call it a job? For me and for Bob, my brother, it has been a period fraught with worry, sacrifice, great risk, long hours, and one hell of a lot of fun. We made so many friends through our life with labels, printing, science, and technology. And while I am none of those things, I have had large groups of people listening to what I have to say for quite a few years now. And it's given me an inflated sense of self-importance. So I will now bestow upon you 8 of my favorite life lessons, whittled down out of hundreds that I had to choose from. Lessons that have changed wildly for me over the years, and I'm sure that you'll be able to detect and understand just where and why. You might find some of this stuff very interesting. You might find some of it boring. Some will be inspiring, some tongue-in-cheek, which is pretty consistent with my odd sense of humor, and you will definitely forget all of it within a week. So here we go. First life lesson, number 1, you don't have to have a dream. All those folks you see on talent shows, they always talk about their dreams. Fine. If you have something that you've always dreamed of, like in your heart, digging away at your daily thought, then you have to go for it. After all, it's something to do with your time, chasing a dream. And if it's a big enough one, it will take you most of your lifetime to achieve. I had one of those big dreams, and it's been a perfect use of the last 29 years. But these days, I also advocate passionate dedication to the pursuit of short-term goals, being micro-ambitious, putting my head down and working with pride on whatever is now in front of me. Changing my thinking in this way has made me ultra-aware that the next worthy pursuit will probably appear in my periphery or come at me unexpectedly, which is why you should be very careful of long-term dreams. I have always said, yo, you're listening to this, that I never look in the rear-view mirror because I'm not going that way. Yet, I've learned that if you focus too far in front of you, you won't see that shiny thing out of the corner of your eye. So enjoy each moment. Number 2, don't seek happiness. Happiness is like an orgasm. If you think about it too much, poof, it goes away. So keep busy and aim to make someone else happy. And you might find that you get some back as a pleasant side effect. We didn't evolve to be constantly content, and remember that contented dinosaurs were eaten before they could pass on their genes. Number 2, remember it's all luck. You are all lucky to be here. You are incalculably lucky to be born, and incredibly lucky to be brought up by a nice family who helped you get educated and encouraged you to go on to do great, amazing things. Or, if you were born into a horrible family, well, that's quite unlucky, and you have my sympathy. But you were still lucky. Lucky that you happen to be made of a sort of DNA that collectively produced the type of brain which, when placed in that horrible childhood situation, would make decisions that meant you eventually ended up doing great things. Well done, you, for dragging yourself up by the shoelaces. But you were lucky. You didn't create the bits of you that dragged you up. They may not even be your shoelaces. You are part of something bigger. We all are. All we need to do is admit it. And many others had a hand in your success or your failure. I know that I worked hard to achieve whatever dubious achievements I've achieved, but I did not do that on my own. It took a lot of others to make it happen. Many of them are in this room tonight, and I bow my head to all of you in loving gratitude. Understanding and accepting the fact that you can't truly take 100% credit for your successes, nor truly blame others 100% for their failures, will humble you and make you more compassionate. Empathy is intuitive, but is also something that you can learn intellectually. Number 4, be hard on your opinions. A famous someone or other asserts that opinions are like assholes and that everyone has one. There is great wisdom in this. But I would add that opinions differ significantly from asshole to asshole, and that yours should be constantly and thoroughly examined. Both your opinions and your, well, I've said that word enough, I'm sure you get the picture of what I'm trying to say. We must think critically, and not just about the ideas of others, but of our own ideas and morals and leading compass. Be hard on your beliefs and strong in your convictions. Take them out onto the terrace and beat them with a large broom every once in a while in order to check out their credibility and their stability. Be intellectually rigorous and curious. Match your aspirations with actions and be fearless in believing, behaving, and becoming different. Speak respectfully of others, but don't hold back on describing reality or getting inspired or painting an inspired vision of the future as you see it. Identify your biases, your prejudices, and never, ever forget your privilege. Number 5, be a mentor, pay it forward, and give back. Please consider being a mentor. Mentors and teachers are the most admirable and important people in the world. You don't have to do it forever. Share your ideas wherever you can, and don't take for granted your education and your experience. Rejoice in what you've learned and what you've earned, and spray it all over the place. Never pass up the chance to smile at a passerby, or say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. And have you tried recently to strike up a conversation on a plane or a bus or at the airport? Most people aren't mass murderers, and enjoy a few words with a complete stranger every now and again, and you'll get the idea if they'd rather be left alone. You never know, you might meet a new friend. Most of us here tonight, are going to live to nearly 100, and even the poorest of you will achieve a level of wealth and well-being that most humans throughout history could not have dreamed of. So share your life with others. That's why we are here. Number 6, define yourself by what you love. I see it all the time online. People whose idea of being part of an important subculture is to collectively agree to hate the band Coldplay, Gwyneth Paltrow, rap music, football, feminists, or the Liberal Party. We have a tendency to define ourselves in opposition to stuff. But try to also express your passion for the things that you love. Be demonstrative and generous in your praise of those you admire, causes that you stand for, people who you believe in. Send thank you cards, congratulation cards, and give standing ovations. Give everything and everyone a chance. Be pro-stuff, not just anti-stuff. We're almost home with number 7. Are you still with me? Okay. Number 7, respect people with less power than you. I have, in the past, made important decisions about people I work with based largely on how they work and treat staff in restaurants, wait staff in restaurants, receptionists, and people who are working their way up their ladder of their chosen profession. I don't care if you're the biggest cat in the room. I will judge you by how you treat others. And I want you to know that it matters and speaks loudly, that it almost screams to everyone within earshot. So don't be ugly, it's noticed. Number 8, don't rush, slow it down a bit. You don't need to already know what you're going to do with the rest of your life. I don't. I keep trying to figure it out, and then life throws something random at me and changes it all up. I'm not saying sit around smoking cigarettes and drinking vodka all day, but just don't panic. Life will change and evolve without our permission, so we just need to be as ready for it as possible. Leave it to humans to think that the universe has a purpose selected solely for them, and then watch as they wait around to find out just what that is supposed to be. Believe me, trust me, there isn't time for that. You must find it yourself. It's your reason for being here. The 2 most important days of your life are the day you were born and the day you figured out why you were born. So push forward. Just don't rush it along. I am not a bra-burning feminist, never needed to be. I am not even a cynic. I am actually rather practical, and here is my idea of practicality. We will all soon be dead. Life will sometimes seem long and tough, and God, it's tiring sometimes. But you will sometimes be happy, and you'll sometimes be sad, and then you'll be old, and then you'll be dead. But there is so much life to be lived within all that space in between. There's only one sensible thing to do with this empty existence, and that is to fill it. Not fillet it, but fill it. Fill it fully and completely, all the way to the top, just brimming on overflow. And in my opinion, until of course I change it, life is best filled by learning as much as you can about as much as you can, taking pride in whatever you're doing, having compassion, sharing ideas, being enthusiastic, and as present in the moment as possible. And then there's love and travel and vodka and sex and art and food and family and friends and kids and praying and paying it forward and giving back and of course scuba diving. But you know all that stuff already. I spent the first 50 years of my life seeking success, and I will now spend the next 50 years of my life, God willing, seeking significance. We'll grow old together for however long that will be and keep sharing our experiences along the way. It's an incredibly exciting thing, this one life of ours. Good luck with yours, and thank you for indulging me.
That was awesome, Suzanne, and you rocked the ball. You're beautiful. It was inspirational. You're just so awesome. Give her another round of applause, everybody. Great job. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, at this time we will present the next award of the evening.